Has Trump's much-touted maximum pressure strategy quietly failed, with Iran now appearing to call the shots on when this war actually pauses or resumes? Has Erbil really been left in ruins? As Mojtaba's forces now claim a key American war hub there has been almost entirely wiped out? Were American Patriot missile shields genuinely crushed and multiple aircraft destroyed within just 2 weeks, according to Iran's own sweeping claims? Has this war been paused for now, even as Iran simultaneously warns Washington that another devastating round could begin at any moment? On July 26, Iran confirmed it had halted its attacks on American bases after strikes from both sides had already paused for 2 consecutive nights. Iranian Army spokesman Amir Akraminia stated clearly that Iran's entire military strategy throughout this conflict had remained purely retaliatory in nature. Akraminia warned that any continued U.S. strikes could significantly widen this war, hinting specifically at rising tensions around the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. The spokesman added firmly that Iranian military operations would resume immediately if the United States chose to return to the battlefield. Amir Akraminia said, and I quote, "Americans stopped their attacks over the past 2 nights. Since our strategy has been entirely retaliatory, we also stopped our retaliatory operations." The U.S. strategy is unclear even to the country's own officials. This is evident in the remarks of U.S. officials, particularly the U.S. President, as well as in the actions of U.S. Central Command. Unquote. Iran's army separately claimed that almost all American infrastructure located in Erbil had been completely destroyed during this campaign. Brigadier General Mohammad Reza Akraminia stated that anti-Iran groups operating out of Erbil had lost their operational capacity entirely as a result. Iran further claimed it had inflicted serious and widespread damage on multiple American military bases scattered across the wider region. Tehran acknowledged that the United States still possesses extensive military capabilities, equipment and bases spread throughout the Gulf region. Meanwhile, the IRGC separately claimed that a total of 11 American fighter jets and helicopters had been destroyed while still on the ground.
Our first strategic axis is to blind the enemy, disable its operational mind, destroy its surveillance capabilities, and eliminate its operational command capabilities, leaving it in a state of confusion and shock. This is our first axis, and in this framework, over the past 15 days, we destroyed 7 command and control centers, eliminated 3 satellite communication systems, and targeted 6 radars belonging to Patriot air defense systems. Patriot systems are in fact among the best American defense systems. Our drones and missiles can now pass through easily because we blinded these radars. We destroyed 3 air and maritime control and surveillance radars, 8 early warning and detection radar systems, 7 missile air defense radars, 3 EPS radar systems, 2 EPS-17 radars, 5 long-range radars, 2 defense radars, and 1 tactical radar complex. In order to weaken and gradually destroy the enemy's operational capabilities, we must target its support and logistical supply centers. In this framework, we targeted 6 fighter jet and helicopter maintenance centers, which are extremely important centers in wartime. Over the past 15 days, we destroyed 3 support and logistical supply centers, set fire to 12 fuel depots, destroyed 17 depots supporting weapons and spare parts for ships and aircraft, in addition to 6 missile silos. In order to pressure the enemy, impose costs on it, and paralyze its capabilities, we must destroy its operational infrastructure. In this context, we destroyed 6 hangars for MQ-9 drones, 6 other hangars and 1 shelter for preparing F-15 fighters, 1 shelter for drones containing 8 new unused aircraft, 2 command centers, 1 platform for refueling an aircraft carrier, and 1 hangar for P-8 electronic warfare aircraft. We destroyed 4 launch platforms for HIMARS missiles, 5 fighter hangars, and 4 Patriot air defense systems. We also destroyed 6 missile launch platforms, 1 fuel pumping station, 2 signal communication centers, 1 intelligence data center, and 1 artificial intelligence center. This center, located in Bahrain, was one of the centers that provided major support to American operations in the region, and we destroyed it completely. We destroyed the Shambud Warehouse Center, 1 fuel dock, 4 fighter shelters, and 6 takeoff and parking aprons, and we also completely destroyed the data processing center belonging to the American company Amazon. In the first wave, we destroyed most of the center, and in the following wave, we destroyed it completely. When we targeted the Amazon facility, we did not target just a building, but the largest American data processing center in the region. The United States established this center in 2019 with an investment of $9 billion.
In which country?
In Bahrain. And when we targeted it, we destroyed one of the enemy's most important capital assets for information processing, causing major disruption in the American power chain.
Interestingly, all of these claims emerged right amid separate reports suggesting that secret talks aimed at halting this war have quietly restarted behind the scenes. US and Iran reportedly sought a return to an interim ceasefire as indirect back-channel negotiations continued, AP reported. AP reported that mediators were discussing a compromise to restore commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. According to AP, the proposal would allow Iran to oversee vessel transit while imposing fewer restrictions on maritime traffic. A regional official, speaking anonymously, said the discussions remained highly sensitive and had not been publicly acknowledged. The interim proposal reportedly aimed to reduce military tensions while keeping one of the world's busiest shipping routes operational. The same official described the current pause in US and Iranian strikes as an encouraging sign for diplomatic efforts. The temporary halt in hostilities reportedly gave mediators greater room to push negotiations aimed at preventing further escalation. AP reported that discussions over Hormuz shipping compromise were still ongoing, with no final agreement reached so far. Negotiators reportedly continued working to revive the ceasefire while trying to prevent another round of direct military confrontation. Donald Trump reportedly held back from a major escalation against Iran as Pentagon concerns over missile stockpiles grew, the New York Times reported. According to the New York Times, dwindling Patriot interceptor inventories became a major factor shaping White House deliberations on further military action. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs General Dan Kane reportedly warned that another large-scale war with Iran could strain U.S. air defense capabilities across the region. Kane reportedly told officials that expanding operations against Iran could reduce Patriot missile coverage protecting U.S. forces under CENTCOM. The reported concerns over air defense readiness ultimately became a key factor in President Trump's decision-making on possible further escalation. Meanwhile, U.S. Central Command said the American naval blockade against Iran remained fully enforced across the Strait of Hormuz. CENTCOM said U.S. forces redirected 12 commercial vessels that allegedly attempted to bypass the blockade on July 25. The U.S. military said 2 commercial ships were disabled after they ignored repeated warnings and failed to comply with blockade instructions. CENTCOM also said American forces boarded 2 commercial vessels to verify compliance with blockade enforcement measures in the Gulf. According to CENTCOM, a Comoros-flagged tanker was cleared after inspection, while another vessel was disabled for failing to comply. Statement by U.S. CENTCOM said, and I quote, "The U.S. naval blockade against Iran remains in full effect. As of July 25, CENTCOM has redirected 12 commercial vessels trying to run the blockade, disabled 2 that didn't comply, and boarded 2 to ensure total compliance." Earlier today, U.S. forces completed a verification boarding aboard Comoros-flagged MT Charmana in the Arabian Sea, and the tanker is now continuing its journey. CENTCOM forces disabled Mozambique-flagged MT Levine in the Gulf of Oman, July 24, after the crew attempted to violate the blockade multiple times and ignored repeated warnings. The ship is no longer transiting to Iran. Unquote.